Hello everyone, welcome to Toti Talk. Within this podcast series, we're going to talk about agriculture and mechanization. And today we're going to talk with Bas Van Hattum, professional journalist from Holland, chief editor of Tracker. Hello Bas, how are you doing today?
Hello Fabio, thank you, I'm doing very well. You?
Well, great, it's good to have you today. First question, just to warm up a little. Would be something about yourself, about your professional experience, and about your media, Tracker.
Thanks for inviting me. Well, like you said, my name is Bas Van Hattum. I'm living in the Netherlands. I'm working in journalism for 18 years at the moment. I'm chief editor for the Tracker magazine and also Tracker Online, the website. I'm also chief for the machinery part in the Farmers Weekly magazine, which is called Boerderij. And we are also, from our team, we have this tractor pool, which is called, this is about used machines and used tractors. And it's one of the biggest occasion websites in Europe concerning agricultural equipment. So that's what I'm doing. And Tracker is really for the professional reader, for the contractors, for the machinery people, and of course the farmers with a lot of equipment and tractors.
Okay, Bas, thank you. And next question for you will be about technology. I mean, from your perspective, from your point of view, what's your opinion about new technologies such as robot, autonomous driving, digitalization, and precision farming? How do you see all of that, and how do you see it stepping into our markets?
The way I see it is that we are living in a world with machinery people. We are not trying to talk about tractors and machines. And the first thought we always have is that, okay, what kind of mower or loading wagon or plow we're going to use. But actually the big movement we see in the Netherlands now is not thinking from out the machine, but thinking from a bigger perspective. And the bigger perspective is actually three things in the Netherlands. It's first, we see the big movement of lowering the use of chemicals, lowering the use of fertilizer, a far more high intense need for biodiversity, and of course there's a lack of labor. And the way I see it is that if you combine those four with the main point of getting a healthy soil is needed for those first four. If you combine those four, I think every investment a farmer should do or a contractor should help in one of those four things I mentioned. And I can give you very good examples. And we are writing about it for many years now. It's like a healthy soil starts with good tires, starts with lower pressure, starts with knowing what to do, knowing what should do. And you just asked me about my vision about robotization or automation or drones or whatever you do, it should all be in favor of the things I mentioned, like lower fertilizer, a healthy soil, lower chemicals. And if it's not in favor of those big movement, you'd even wonder as a farmer or contractor to buy some new stuff.
Okay, thank you, Bas. That was a very interesting point of view. Next question for you. Actually, I know you're somehow involved in a very interesting and international project that involves several different magazines from almost all over the north of Europe. Can you give us some insights about this project?
Yeah, what we are doing right now is that we have a very good cooperation with my colleagues from Finland, from Koniviesti, from Norway, Bede Graafschrift, and from Denmark, Tractortech, and of course then us from the Netherlands. And what we each here try to do is really make of a very good practical test. And in this test, we would like to really compare and test things in practical way. So at the moment, to be very clear, we have 7 tractors here, 7 tractors between 280 and 300 horsepower. The most new tractors with all the new technology like GPS and guidance and hydraulics and suspension on axles and cabs and stuff. And that sounds very nice, but before we start with these kind of projects, we always, what would we like to test? How are we going to compare? And what are the real questions from our farmers, our readers? So each of us, we make some kind of question which we post on our social media. For example, one of my colleagues will do a very deep isobus and guidance test. So he first asked our readers, what's the main problem you're facing nowadays? What would you really like to know about all these new technology? When we have that clear, we make a test protocol. And when the test protocol is there, we have a very tight schedule for 4 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks. We are testing these machines. And so in the end, we have a lot of figures, a lot of scores, a lot of opinions, a lot of discussions. And the end result is always a very nice test, which is mostly published in our countries. So it's the Nordic countries, it's the Netherlands, it's Belgium, it's Germany, it's UK. It's intense, it takes a lot of time, but the end result's really there. And it's really independent. There's no manufacturer here, there's no farmer here. There's only us. We are about 9 journalists at the moment here. We are planning to publish around September, October this year. That's just before the Agritechnica will start in November. And it's going to be a great test. What I can give you already is that in the average, we see that manufacturers made a huge jump in comfort. What 10 years ago was like really the best is now more like the average. We have some do much better. We have some do a little less. We have some pre-production models here, so we have to be careful with some things which are happening here. But I think it's really worth reading, knowing that the average price of a tractor standing here is about between 250 and 300,000 euros. So we'd like to know what you're buying.
All right, Bas, thank you for sharing with us these details, which made me very curious to read your articles. But now we are at the end of this episode, so thank you very much indeed to Bas Van Hattum from Holland, Chief Editor of Tracker. Toti Talk is the podcast powered by Tractor of the Year, the International Award for Agricultural Tractors. Follow us on our social media, and for more information about us, visit tractoroftheyear.org.